Welcome to another Wine Wednesday. I'm Alex.
And I'm James.
Today we're gonna get into a little Fizzy by Nature. This is our pet nat. And we figured we'd reenact the scene here. This is a socially distanced picnic, but we don't have to socially distance anymore. We get to meditate a little out here.
And nothing better to calm you down than some Fizzy by Nature.
It's a fact. All right, and so the name Fizzy by Nature, James came up with. Pet nats, what that means is comes from French pétillant naturel. So pétillant means lightly sparkling, and natural means it was naturally made. So this is just grapes, no additives. We bottle the wine while it's still fermenting. So when it's about 95% of the way through fermentation, we'll bottle it, and the last 5% of sugar gets eaten by the yeast. The CO2 can't leave, so it ends up sparkling. And we do end up with some sediment in the wine, which is natural, expected, and healthy, good probiotics. So good for the gut.
And this is the 2022, which is entirely Chardonnay.
And all from our little estate vineyard that we planted in my parents' backyard. So this is, it's called Ivy Slope because it used to all be covered in ivy. But a little nickname we have for it is Clos du Cul-de-sac, because it's in a cul-de-sac. And clos is a French term very often used in Burgundy for a walled, enclosed vineyard. And pet nat is so fun and funky and interesting. You get a lot of fruit, but it's got a lot of like cider-like aromatics to it as well.
That's what I was gonna say. A little cidery.
And beautiful little bubbles. You get plenty of acid because it's a cool late ripening vineyard. So always nice and fierce, but it's through the slow process of fermenting it, this is really softened up a lot.
Yeah.
So unlike traditional method, sparkling wine or champagne method, where the wine is fermented, it's finished, and then they'll add yeast and sugar and bottle it to re-ferment it. This is only the sugar that was naturally present in the grapes. So it's also known as the ancestral method of making sparkling wine, because this has been made thousands and thousands of times in the past on accident, where people thought the wine was done fermenting, they would bottle it, and bottle maybe in the spring, and then as it heated up in summer, the wine would start fermenting, and you'd probably end up with exploding bottles. Back then, it was actually a badass woman in Champagne who came up with the design for champagne bottles for holding more pressure. All right.
Yeah, typically pet nats are at a lower pressure than traditional method sparkling wines.
Reading off the back of the label,
Nice.
I say pour carefully and often and enjoy spontaneously. So I'd say this wine you can have with a lot of different foods. It is really good on its own, but this is kind of a chameleon. In sparkling wine in general, you can pair with a huge variety of things, from kind of really light and elegant dishes all the way up to something super hearty that you would ordinarily pair with a red wine.
But also to go back to like the cidery nature of it, I mean, like a lot of hard cheeses would go really well with this too. Or other typical charcuterie fare.
Yeah.
Fizzy by Nature is a really approachable sparkling wine. It's especially approachable for a pet nat. For sparkling wine, it's relatively inexpensive, coming in at $36 or so a bottle. And you can essentially only find this at our tasting room. There might be a few odd ones out in the Portland market, but if you want to come grab one, come visit us at our Corvallis tasting room or at Pettygrove in Portland.
And I'll just add, perfect pairing for Fizzy by Nature is picnic. You can tell by the label. Thank you for joining us for another Wine Wednesday. Cheers. See how good we've gotten at the unison? Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Ah, that's nice.
Wow. I was about to say something like, Dobby is free! The scene where he hands him the sock.
Yeah.